Today I review the rebooted DC movie, The Suicide Squad, where the government sends the most dangerous supervillains in the world to the hostile island of Corto Maltese on a search and destroy mission. But before I get started, if you enjoy this review and you want to watch new reviews that I post every Monday and Fridays, like this video and subscribe to my channel by clicking on the box right here. After the travesty that was the first Suicide Squad movie that came out in 2016, we get this reboot/sequel that's led by director James Gunn. And I'm sitting here just trying to think of anything that I liked about it. I'm just kidding, there's so much that I like about this movie. Like, first off, this movie is so much fun. The director James Gunn brings that same wackiness that made the Guardians of the Galaxy movies popular, but with an R rating attached to it. From the opening scene, I knew exactly what I was going to get from the Suicide Squad. I was going to get a gory, action-packed, humorous, fun time. And this movie should be what DC movies should strive to be like. Not necessarily the comedy aspect, because not every story should be comedic, but just the fact that it's a darker tone, but it still has a personality. Unlike some of the other DC movies that have the darker tone, but they're void of personality, so they're just like, but this movie's like, ah! And for a movie that's really fun and comedic, it can also get real. And those real scenes have a big impact, not just on the characters, but on myself as a viewer. And those more serious moments in the movie aren't just a tool to advance the plot or take a break from the comedy. They felt natural, and they led me to connect with the characters in some way even more. And the Suicide Squad has an incredible cast of characters, and I enjoyed nearly every single one of them. But some of my favorites, you have Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, who, let's be honest, that's her character for life. No one else can play as Harley Quinn except Margot Robbie. Especially after this movie, because honestly, it was better than her previous two performances as Harley Quinn. And that's saying something, because I really enjoyed her in those movies as well. My absolute favorite scene with Harley Quinn in this movie, besides her running through the military compound killing all the soldiers, was when she's explaining what she would do if she encountered a red flag in men that she finds attractive. And she just goes on this hilarious monologue that was so Harley Quinn, like straight out of the comics and put on the screen. And Margot Robbie just perfected her performance as the character. I loved it. And then you have Idris Elba as Bloodsport, and he was really cool and likable. I liked how he embraced that he was a bad guy, but the desire to do the right thing was always fighting to get out, and that inner battle pays off in such a rewarding way by the end of the movie. It was so great to watch. And I also loved King Shark, who's voiced by Sylvester Stallone, and King Shark is the most adorable man-eating shark monster thing in movie history. Even as he's chomping down on some dude's head, I still want to hug him. He's just so violently innocent. I couldn't help but love him. James Gunn does a great job in this movie giving the characters enough screen time to showcase themselves. But for the minor characters that don't get as much screen time as Harley Quinn or Bloodsport, he gives them really powerful actions or a couple lines of dialogue that really make me love or sympathize with them. For example, there's this villain in the movie called Ratcatcher, and she can control rats. And she has a pet rat named Sebastian. And Sebastian has about 2, maybe 3 minutes of total screen time in this movie. But in those 3 minutes, this movie made me love Sebastian. Why? Because he waves. He does this little cute rat wave. And he also gives a leaf to Bloodsport to show that he likes him. And just 3 minutes is all it takes for me to want to give my life for this rat. One issue that I have about this movie is that you don't really get to see the Suicide Squad as villains. Like, yeah, they do kill a lot of people in this movie, but the people they're killing are also bad guys. You know, if they're bad guys and they're fighting bad guys, you know, it kind of balances out. This movie tells you that they're villains rather than show you, and I would have preferred it if they had just a few second clips showing what each supervillain did to get them in prison in the first place. Like, that would have been really helpful, because I didn't know about Bloodsport or Peacemaker or Ratcatcher until watching this movie. So because I don't know the characters, I just have to take the movie's word for it, and that's not nearly as fun. The Suicide Squad is definitely better than the original in every way, and it might possibly be the best DCEU movie to date. I definitely wouldn't mind if DC Warner Brothers gave James Gunn the keys to running their cinematic universe, because he obviously knows what he's doing. The Suicide Squad is a fun ride that leaves you excited for more, like a roller coaster. Thanks for watching! Click right here to watch more reviews, and to see new reviews, click right here to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything.